Welcome back, everyone, after an absolute slaughter of our first best of one between the group stage winners. VP, I mean, they removed OG from Dota 2, honestly. That was 30-3. There's nothing more to say about that, but the round robin continues, and OpTic now have to face up against VP. And of course, just to kind of explain how this all works, if VP wins, we have 3 best of ones overall, 1 more afterwards to find out between OG and OpTic who's going to head on through and who sticks back. But if OpTic wins, this could go on for quite a while. We could have up to 9 best of ones to see what happens. We'll move into game though, Lacoste.
And after those 9 best of ones, the time rating kicks in.
Let's hope we don't get there.
I think Virtus.Pro just wants to show, after yesterday's DP performances, that this hero is still amazing. As Knoxville mentioned, this hero was 0-7 yesterday.
Yeah.
Now it's
1-7.
1-7. So gotta get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. The reason why I love to watch Virtus.Pro is because, of course, they play an amazing Dotes, but also they're like a bunch of friends who are having so much fun together while they're playing and still winning big tournaments.
That being said, I have had to mute everyone because during the draft anyway, the chat wheel sounds getting a little bit obnoxious, but I'll make sure to unmute them for the game so you guys get all the tips and the chat wheels that you guys desire. But for now, we'll keep it calm and keep it quiet as we get through the draft. VP opening, that's exactly the same as they did against OG, right? DP Chen.
Yeah. On the other side, we have Shadow Demon and Sanking. Shadow Demon more popular. We saw yesterday in the right hands what the hero can do. When FNG played it, he single-handedly pretty much won that game.
He kept Team Spirit in the running, didn't he? Very big. So bans, IO, Lesh, Night Stalker, the 3 big ones there removed. Clockwork, Morphling, Doom, Luna, Gyro, and Beastmaster also taken out of the game. So Shadow Demon, Sanking, you were talking yesterday also. With Shadow Demon, it's always nice to have one of those, really reliable stuns. And Sanking is a reliable stun, and it's a ground stun. So you can pretty much guarantee that tick-perfect stun into Disruption with that Burrow Strike onto a number of heroes. Of course, Chen with a Sandbag could be the answer to it.
They're going to need a hero that maybe builds into a fast Yule Scepter, possibly a mid-intelligence hero. Lina is still in the pool. That kind of fits the profile. Burst damage against the Dead Prophet. Can show out the waves quickly.
Let's see what OpTic go for. Where's this Sand King heading? Zai Sand King, 3-3 Sand King. And the world is their oyster right now.
5 seconds remaining.
I fully expect Virtus.Pro just to go for a very similar draft to they did in the previous game. Of course, they can't have the Morphling this time around. But Lifestealer is still out there potentially for Ramses or whatever he wants to go for. So with a Shadow Demon Sand King, often you think of SD as that hero that enables these illusion heroes. There's the Lina that you called out for with that Yule Scepter build up. And a Rubick for Virtus.Pro.
Oh, this is a great Rubick game. One of my favorite heroes against the Sanking in general, because it has no cast animation on the stun. Same goes for LSA from Lina, and also has a lot of damage mitigation with his aura.
And if you can steal something like Shadow Poison or Soul Catcher, it could be pretty big here.
Also, Disruption could be really big. Imagine if you have someone sending back, not someone, that guy is probably Chen, but you have stolen Disruption, so you just disrupt him and then he goes back. Pretty impossible to kill.
Oh, that's pretty nifty, actually, if he gets it done. Can't wait to see something like that. But also just having, again, that reliable telekinesis stun. Lina, a very squishy hero. If Rubick makes a rotation into mid with Chen, it could definitely take down the fiery priestess. OpTic head into the bounty hunter, so that shifts the Sand King into that pos 3. It feels like Shadow Demon bounty is there. 2 supports, and we talked about bounty a little bit in the previous game. I expected Doom to do a job against the Chen where you kind of scout him out, make sure you devour the creeps, limit what the Chen can do. But I feel like Chen has changed so much over the past, couple of years since he's been buffed and nerfed and abilities have been cycled through,
5 seconds remaining.
that hunting him in the jungle isn't as effective anymore. Like, he's not a jungling hero. He's a laner that has jungle creeps.
Exactly. He's the one who puts a lot of pressure on the lanes with his creep, a lot of aggression, especially when he gets the 2 creeps. He can push the tower easily.
Slark.
I guess at least Bounty Hunter can, block camps and scout where the Chen goes. Slark for VP, so that will be Ramses' hero. There's Sanking Burrow Strike and Lina LSA as ground stuns here to try and deal with him in that Shadow Dance. But he can dispel off track, he can get rid of Shadow Poison.
He can dispel pretty much anything that OpTic has.
Yeah. And there's no heroes that, that you're going to pick here has a Hex, right? Like, you can't pick a Lion, you can't pick Rasta.
No.
And buying a Hex or having Hex as a core item on a hero, very, very rare. Usually comes out, later into the game.
So they need a hero that is good against the Slark. Not too many heroes fit that profile. One of them is Faceless Void, but they don't have too much to follow up. Okay, they have Sanking Ulti Lina, but you have Bounty and Shadow Demon who doesn't contribute anything. One of the other heroes is Troll Warlord, who can man fight him.
What about something like a Timbersaw? He's got that AoE damage. Early on, before Slark's BKB, he can deal with it.
But they also need to have some tower damage as well in their last pick, so they're kind of limited.
That's true. It's a tough old one, isn't it? Final bans coming out here. OpTic, again VP, sorry, are going to be looking for that off-lane Pasha hero, leaving him to last.
So one of the heroes that fits the profile for OpTic Gaming is a Phantom Lancer. Maybe that could be the reason why they banned out the Axe. He's still good against the Slark. Any kind of mana burn on Slark, so he can't use his spells, is also good.
And then you can start landing your stuns. What does VP get rid of?
10 seconds remaining.
That pos 1 for OpTic. Pajkatt hero.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I think you might be right with the potential PL ban. I mean, I could maybe see something. Well, if they ban out the Void, the other hero you mentioned. So a little bit afraid there of Void and Lina having that lockdown and damage from outside the chrono. Pasha has been banned so heavily in this game. Brew, Beastmaster, Axe, all gone.
Yeah, they need Pasha's hero. They don't have the best control. If Shadow Demon and Bounty Hunter don't provide too much control, so again, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. It could be a decent Pango game. They can't really lock him down, and he can build into these items that tank him up. If needed, he can go for a pipe, for Guardian Greaves after the blink. Just be that whatever offlaner was in the previous patch. You have an Underlord, you have a Tide Hunter.
10 seconds remaining.
So I still think Phantom Lancer could be really good for OpTic. Decent matchup against the Pango. Or that. All right.
I mean, that's the classic counter to Ramses.
Yes, that's the classic counter to a Slark, but it's not picked up often. Bloodseeker received a couple of buffs, so his thirst lingers for 2 more seconds than before, even after you kill a hero.
Think of all the movement speed they've got as well. They've got Thirst, they've got Track, they've got Lina. This is a speedy old OpTic draft. And Pajkatt, of course, is going to be able to see Ramses when he's low HP and make sure that regen doesn't kick in. Hell, we used to see Slarks go and buy the old Tranquil boots when you could use the heal. We used to see Slarks buy that against Bloodseeker just to make sure that they could regen back up.
One of the ways to deal with the Bloodseeker, because you can't regen, is, as you mentioned, Tranquil boots, not that effective anymore. But you can go for a bottle. Have the bottle charges, and then you just regen up. Also, someone will need to buy Earn this game. It's really valuable against a hero like a Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker's gonna have a really easy time on the lane against the Pango. Pango can't do his things on the top lane against a hero like a Bloodseeker. He just keep right-clicking him.
Right, now the draft is over. We can bring the chat wheel and the tips all back. Good luck, have fun.
Are you sure?
Oh, this wasn't a mistake. No, this was not a mistake. This is what we wanted. Pasha up at top, triple mango on that Pangolier. It looks like he's going to try and match up against the Zai Sand King and 3-3 Shadow Demon. We've seen some very strong dual lanes in the off lane. What was it yesterday? The Leshrac and... It was Leshrac Sand King.
Yes.
And I guess this is a similar thing. You've got the setup, you've got the stun, and with Soul Catcher, once you're level 2, you'll have the damage if you go that direction.
Yeah, they don't want to have Pango against the Bloodseeker. As I already mentioned, he would just get way too much harassed at the laning stage and just be the free move speed and the damage for the Bloodseeker.
So bottom lane for VP, Ramses.Rodger and potentially Solo will be heading down to bottom as PPD scouting deep in behind enemy lines.
So when you have a Bloodseeker in your team, you want to play aggressive on the other lanes, and the other team needs to have way more regen than they usually have. Otherwise, this Bloodseeker can easily go out of control.
And start solo killing his lane
Yes.
opponent, right? Yeah. Rodger, PPD, bounty runes, the triple goes to VP, and they've lifted up the bounty hunter. No real damage, though, from Rodger or Solo. PPD will be able to slide away from any kind of danger. So OpTic, they've reacted, they've maneuvered their lanes a little bit here. Zai and Pajkatt up towards top. 3-3 heads bottom, so the triple mango off-lane Shadow Demon. Zai sticks around with this Bloodseeker.
Solo used smoke.
So
He wants to kill the chicken.
Haha. They scare the bounty hunter away, then smoke. Do they smoke the Chen as well? No. Oh, they smoke the Slark. Slark's down bottom. Reveals himself now. 3-3. No real kill power there. Solo wards in behind the tier 1 mid. What's CCnC up to?
He has healing salve, but he's not bringing it.
He knows. Oh.
He's going to bring the Mantle of Intelligence, but they know that Solo is missing.
Where could Solo be? Are they going to keep the courier here? Are they going to run it around the long way? Oh, it's going normal. It's coming in. Solo sees it. 1, 2 hits. There we go. Easy peasy. Salve and Mantle gone. A great start again for VP. As they kick things off with a courier snipe, and Solo TP's immediately up to top lane to help out Pasha. Oh, it's been a while. Lacoste, it's been a long while, but here Rodger's got the lightning creep.
Harpy Stormcrafter. That's the name of the creep, and it's looking really ugly. Kind of reminds me of you, Gary, in the younger days.
I wish my horn was that big, to be honest. 3-3 getting chipped away at here by the lightning. I mean, 50 mana with 400 mana pool. You're spamming out that little chain lightning.
50 mana, so you can use that stuff like 9 times because of the mana regen, and it deals 140 initial damage.
Yeah. I mean, it's a 4-second cooldown as well. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, look at that. PPD focuses it down and kills it off, so they will remove it from the lane, at least for now. They need a sentry down here to deal with PPD, though. There's a double damage down at that bottom spot. Could maybe lead to a go onto no one. The sentry ward he has mid. Another 45 seconds on it. So this should give them the indication that PPD is coming.
This courier kill really cripples Lina a lot, because she can't bring the damage, she can't bring the regen, which opens up Death Prophet to play aggressively on this mid lane. Look at the regen. She only has 1 Fairy Fire left.
And DP has double null and a ton of regen left. It's actually crazy that no one is already ahead by a few CS and a couple of denies, but it's going to accelerate from there for the DP. As Lina starts getting shut down quite heavily. But as the game progresses, we all know that Lina does well against the Death Prophet with levels, as long as you get those combos out with the ulti from DP. But CCnC is just hiding by his own tower. What do you do at this point? Do you have to like TP home or?
Oh,
top lane?
Pajkatt top lane.
Pasha getting stunned up. Pajkatt pretty speedy there with the thirst. As Rodger's being tracked back upon. Sentry ward blocking his camp. He'll come in to try and deward it, but I think PP... Oh, nice. Ward for ward there going to favor Rodger, of course, as the camp does get unblocked.
You need to have a magic stick against the Bloodseeker in the laning stage, because he spams his Blood Rage, and you're just getting the free charges.
Yeah, looks like Pasha favoring the boots and trying to rush straight into that bottle, but I'd be inclined to agree. Having that extra bit of regen and keep yourself all topped up would be nice. So CCnC finally gets his courier out. It flies across, salve, second null, and a mango arrives for him. But already 15-1, you know, half this. There we go. They start tipping CCnCs. Half the CS of this DP.
I was watching CCnC. I saw him standing on the mid, not last hitting, just using the scoreboard to tip him.
Sometimes that's what you got to do.
What's wrong with your creeps on the bottom lane? Why do they look so weird? The range one. These are not normal.
Oh, I have
creeps,
the battle pass creep thing activated.
All right.
The custom one. CCnC middle lane. Telekinesis left back, and that is him gone. The mod golems again from RodjER, just proving so vital. Easy stuff. 5-minute bounty runes are coming up in a couple of seconds as well. Pasha shoves Zai away. Solo's here to guard the Radiant side one. It looks like VP should get at least 2 here. As RodjER, oh, this courier, is it dead? Oh, they get the glyph just in time. Fast fingers from OpTic. Save their courier for now, and bounty runes. We're looking at Pasha refilling his bottle, grabbing that one up. PPD will get the ones on the southern side of the map, though.
Yeah, bottle is also really good, as I mentioned, maybe even on Slark, but Pasha picked up 1, so that means that Bloodseeker is not gonna get any move speed and extra damage on that lane, because he's gonna keep them at full HP. They're still chasing Chen. Look at this army.
Yeah, PPD doesn't want to show himself here, surely not.
That's 6 creeps.
The mud golems start to expire. Alpha Wolf is here for RodjER, though. One little hit from PPD. No reveal on Chen, as CCnC will arrive with 3-3. If they get the grab with the disruption, they should be able to line up. An initiation from Lina. CCnC is pretty far away, but the Shadow Poison stacking up and killing him off. Finally, net OpTic a win in their own jungle as they bring 4 heroes all said and done, kill off the Chen army and RodjER himself. But the side lanes start to open up. Ramzes continues farming. In top lane, Solo and Pasha pressuring Pajkatt.
Zai is there. Bloodseeker getting really close to level 6, but they're keeping him low. Just keep harassing him. So he can't use the Blood Rage because he's receiving extra damage.
Yeah, now Zai, very far forward, trying to get in onto Pasha.
They have a shrine ready.
Yeah, but like that shield crash swashbuckle makes it so hard to kill the Pango here, and PPD, I don't think they quite see him. They might, yeah, they notice now, and with the dust there, he's going to run himself back into the trees, but Solo, he's got the vision, and Pasha arrives, so they get an additional kill right next to their shrine, utilizing all of that wonderful mana.
This is a core Shadow Demon, so it's a different kind of a build for him. What we're used to see, and what we saw yesterday. He didn't max the Soul Catcher, he's going for Shadow Poison to maximize the damage output. Getting really close to the mana boots, and it's also really great against the Slark. Because you can just scout him out, deal damage over time. Yes, he can get rid of the stacks, but still.
Yeah, and 3-3 is even building up some stacks of camps for himself. I'll try and take those with the Shadow Poison in a couple of minutes. This smoke, though, from VP was scouted by the Observer Ward that PPD placed earlier on, making a long wraparound up towards top, and I don't think Pajkatt expects this. He was maybe looking towards the mid lane or the bot lane as the angle of attack, but Ramzes has TP'd top lane, and Bloodseeker is down for the count. Bloodseeker has hit level 6, so he's got the rupture, but it's a slow and arduous task to get this guy up off the ground.
Bloodseeker does not love to play from behind. He wants to keep the pressure. He wants to be in charge, have a couple of levels above others. Otherwise, you're not gonna feel the influence of the hero. They need to rotate the Lina. It's minute 8. Bounty Hunter should be the one getting the tome because he's under-leveled. He's not involved in any of the kills. 1 kill, sorry. But still, those early kills don't matter. They don't give too much XP. Also, DPLT is ready, so they should try to play around that. Move Chen and try to get the tower.
Well, it's going to be a fight around top lane, I think. Solo tracked back here by the bounty. A rupture onto Slark. Well, it will be annoying, but he's being sent back by the Chen. And Zai, they'll focus in onto Solo. A Centaur Stomp buys some time, but the final hit arrives. A VP lose that one hero, but the chase is still on here. Pajkatt looking for the creeps. Zai stunning the Centaur, killing off the Chen army. A nice little bonus there for them. But they've saved Ramzes. So he's gone back home and TP'd immediately bottom lane, and with a Pango ulti, they move on to 3-3. No longer has disruption, fake pumps out the Demonic Purge, but another kill here, coming the way of Virtus.Pro.
And he tips him. It's gonna be hard for them. Lina needs to buy that Yule Scepter that I was talking about. Yeah, he just queues that up. They need to dispel the sandbag from Chen. Oh, Peter. They're gonna find him again.
Easy kill. He's actually placed a fresh sentry here. Maybe looking to try and de-ward any kind of vision that Virtus.Pro have been placing around. Pasha, scouted by the sentry obs combo. I think he's pinged it out saying that they know. CCnC with the phase boots now up.
Another ward between Tier 1 and Tier 2 tower. Look at this ward, giving so much vision. This is why VP is such a strong team. They always plant a good vision. So they're staying step ahead, and they plant all their vision right away. So they're one step ahead. They can always de-ward. No one?
Oh, he's baiting. The rest of VP are coming on forward, and DP doesn't have a care in the world. Lina's getting chased back with a two-man silence. They've got the catch from Pasha. No, not quite. The Rolling Thunder ends prematurely. No one's exorcism still going. They'd love to go and pressure this Tier 1 middle lane. Still a little difficult, though, as Pasha gets chased back, but the LSA missing. CCnC estimated the movement to the left-hand side, but Pasha goes northwards. And of course, like VP are so good at doing, they're making this pressure with 3 or 4 heroes, while Ramses just free farms. He's been given so much room.
Yeah, he's gonna hit the really good timing on that Shadow Blade. Has enough to buy the Claimer or Shadow Amulet. In next 2 minutes, if he doesn't die, he's gonna have that Shadow Blade.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Who's bottom? 3-3, still down here on this SD. They're trying to keep that Tier 1 alive against the Catapult, and the push coming forward. OpTic, you were mentioning the tome for the Bounty Hunter, try and get towards that level 6. PPD still
no boots.
Level 4.5, and yeah, exactly right. Try off onto Pasha with a Rupture, but PPD, Shuriken, no vision. He didn't move forward fast enough. And bottom lane, that's where the real fight's kicking off. Sandstorm from Solo buys him time to run away. Ramses returns to the fight with a silence onto 2. Chen's army will tank up the tower and dive in behind the trees, but it's Zai. Dusted up, chased back, and killed off as VP rampant in this bottom lane, charging forward. RodjER does take a tumble for his efforts, and PPD with CCnC trying to swing back with all they've got, but Virtus.Pro have already extracted.
VP should not underestimate the damage output from level 4 Shadow Poison on Shadow Demon. If he doesn't die in the team fights and just keeps stacking, that's the insane amount of damage. Yes, he just died, but still.
He does damage, but he's not tanky at all.
It's hard to deal damage if you're dead, Gary.
They've got, yeah, absolutely is. They've got Dust as well for PPD, so if he even pops Invis, they'll catch him. Regardless of that, the creeps see him on the retreat out, and that will be the end of the Bounty Hunter and the Tier 1 kills into objectives, the name of the game here for Virtus.Pro.
So Ramses has Shadow Blade after he farms this.
And still no Yules on Lina, eh?
No, she's not close.
And then you have this kind of wonky time, like Pajkatt is aiming towards the Radiance. That's going to take quite some time. So is OpTic maybe aiming for that 20-25 minute big old hit when they've got Yules, they've got Radiance? Or do they have to do something now to try and level the scales?
OpTic is in a really bad spot right now, but they're planning to defend with Shadow Poison, and they think that Bloodseeker will have enough time to go for a Radiance build. Okay. He still deals damage with level 2 Bloodrite and Rupture. If you get the good timing on the Radiance, you scale well, also damage over time against the Slark.
PPD doing a very good job scouting out this aggressive maneuver from Virtus.Pro.
Solo, he stole Shadow Walk from Bounty Hunter. That's going to be a secure kill on Lina.
And that is again Yule Scepter delayed even further for CCnC. Currently 0-2-2, net worth-wise, middle of the pack. Just behind Pasha and barely ahead of the Shadow Demon.
They're gonna find Shadow Demon again. Lift ready in a couple of seconds.
Oh, Ramses Shadow Blade as well. I mean, the Burst Strike is being held by Zai after That Dark Pact comes. 3-3 still alive, but I don't think he's going to be up for much longer as the final swipe from Ramses clears him up. Oh, the TP out. The Rupture does nothing. No one turns to fight, and Pajkatt's gone. PPD chased back, and his invis, do they have reveal? They don't need it. They don't care. Spirit Siphon from no one clears him up easily. The sentry was placed in the end. Ramses swings back into the tower, so tier 1 kills again objectives for VP as they move towards Roshan as the final step of their plan.
They have slowest deer in the pack, Aura, plus DPLT running for how much longer? 8 seconds. That's going to be more than enough. They have a medallion on Chen. That's going to be ages for Ramses.
When did they fix that? Because when you alt-clicked it before, it wouldn't tell you how long it had remaining. That's pretty nice.
There was a problem with the items, not with the spells.
Okay.
It said no.
Oh, no.
10 seconds remaining, but no item when you clicked on a BKB.
There was that, but DP specifically, Exorcism was a bit bugged, and it sometimes wouldn't show you how long was left on it. Oh my god, he just blinks in! No one wants to go aggressive. Oh, they've killed him! Not only CCnC dying there, but PPD the second, 16-3. Virtus Pro, they're in another world at ESL tournaments. Absolutely slaying.
Yeah, this reminds me of the previous game, what Virtus Pro did. It's probably just gonna end in the same way. 11,000 net worth lead, 15 minutes in. And they don't have the comeback heroes. You're playing with Lina, Sanking, Bloodseeker, Shadow Demon, Bounty Hunter just hit level 6, who has no boots. So he wanted to buy the boots, but didn't buy the tome, so he was not level 6, even though they're not getting any kills, so it doesn't matter.
It's a rough old game, 770 net worth for PPD, and then you've got Zai with Tranquils, Windlace. They need to go and make something happen up top. Ether Lens on 3-3's Shadow Demon. Zai smoke does pop. Pasha not ready for this kind of movement in. Does get the swashbuckle back. Banished for the moment, but in comes Ramses, diving towards the Bloodseeker, finding the big ticket target, and now the Rolling Thunder. Pajkatt's in trouble. He's leashed up, pounced upon, and well, Zai is gone. Pajkatt is dead. There's nothing they can do. VP, they just come out of the woodwork one by one. There's an additional hero there as OpTic are 3-manning into one, and they think it's a quick and easy one over onto that little Pangolier. But it ends up with VP bringing 4 heroes top.
These heroes are so hard to kill. They don't have any kind of burst damage unless they rotate Lina. It's all kind of damage over time. Pango's not going to go down that easily, especially if he gets shield crash on 2-3 people. DP tanky enough, 1.6k HP at this point.
Solo? Oh, the hand of God, he's going to get himself away! The Burrow Strike lift in to send back, and now PPD, he's not going to get a track kill out of that. They need reveal, but they don't have it. The TP out from CCnC, Epicenter from Zai. He might kill RodjER here, it's going to get close, and the Burrow Strike is good. Well, they don't lose a single player. VP all still fully alive, and Ramses will start regenning back up.
Huge Epi plus a Burrow Strike. They just needed some follow-up damage. Either a Blood Right or one slave from Lina. That would be enough to finish. So Bloodseeker, yeah, forced to go for an item that he can fight with. He's in a bad position right now. So Blade Mail, the best option he can get against the Slark, against the uncontrollable damage from Dead Prophet.
Just look at how afraid Pajkatt is. It's only Solo showing in lane, but Pajkatt can't go to the creep wave because he's scared of what's coming in behind. How long do we have on this Aegis now? 1 minute 45. Chen and Slark farming up that BKB for Ramses. Looks like RodjER here has enough money to finish off the Solar Crest if he wants to. Looks like he's keeping the money for something bigger.
I like the item build on a DP. He just tanks up instead of going for Yule Scepter and Eon Disc, which can be purged by Shadow Demon's ulti.
Especially against the Lina, right?
Yes.
Make sure you can't.
And everything they have is pretty much magical damage, no right clicks whatsoever besides Bloodseeker, which is pure damage, Blood Right and Rupture.
Now VP just looking to control the map as best they can. Herd, OpTic back into their base. Observer wards being placed incredibly aggressively across all 3 of these lanes, mid lane especially, looking towards that tier 2. As an objective, the VP want to try and grab for themselves. They are being scouted though, as OpTic have a nice little obs ward Watching the movements in. Doesn't get dewarded. Solo a little bit too far forward with the sentry. But he's clearing through creep waves so quickly. He's sitting on 3k net worth. Double that of the Sand King, who is a mile away from his Blink Dagger or any kind of items. And this is the smoke. This is the one that has to get something done to try and tip the scales back somehow into OpTic's favor. Defend this tier 2 tower. They've got a few ways to enter the fight, and Zai hit by the dust, as well as the Bounty Hunter, as the Shadow Walk stolen by Solo, so he moves in invis. Nice sentry there, Zai will catch, but it is a Rubick. This is the pos 5 of VP, and OpTic Smoke is absolutely doing nothing.
They have the red army, 3 Hellbear Smashers. Plus a gold.
Stalingrad sent its regards. And the Ghost. I think RodjER is having a little bit of fun here with his creeps. Oh, Pasha TPing back home. Nothing to catch him yet again. If OpTic have another smoke, they can maybe try that again. But VP are always just so ready. They know the desperation moves. They know when their opponents are getting ready to strike. And PPD, I think Ramses knows. And he's on top of him. No one kills off Zai, but PPD will also fall flat on his face. Where did Zai die? All the way back here.
They don't have the answer for the VP right now. Zai has no Blink Dagger. They have nothing to start a fight with. They scored 0 track kills so far. Also have no tower damage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's one of those games where you're stuck in your base, you're forced to do something, but whatever you do, it's not going to be good enough. Unless VP decides to just throw the game somehow, overextend. But at this point, it just feels impossible.
I mean, that item right there is a big indication to me that VP don't want to mess around. They want to end these best of ones as quick as possible. And, well, Ramses, BKB goes straight on in. CCnC dead without buyback. Ramses TPing out there as he is ruptured, but BKB, of course, keeping him nice and safe. Toasty back towards the shrine. Solo goes for a TP, but he will get banished. Maybe this is the one kill that OpTic can get. They bring themselves from 3 to 4 as Pasha's still battling in the middle of them all. No one arrives with the exorcism, but Pajkatt sprinting away. 3-3 is going to take a dive here. A 2 for 2 with a buyback from Solo. But VP.Pro are knocking on the door of the tier 3 at this point. Exorcism ready to go. BKB for Death Prophet, and Ramses full HP with BKB in 30 seconds. This should be the high ground take with the catapults arriving. Simple stuff from VP.Pro.
They can fight. Sand King still no Blink Dagger. Cooldown 15 seconds on Bloodseeker ulti, but they can keep spamming the Blood Right. It's level 4, so the cooldown is 12 seconds. This is one of the best zoning tools in the game.
Shrines are now open. But a gem from the Chen. Another big indicator there that they just want to keep this pressure up. The Gen. Yeah. That's the one. And a mech from Pango. I mean, right. If the BKBs didn't say it, if the gem from Chen didn't say it, frickin' mech on Pango says it. Get that heal up against the Bloodseeker, the Shadow Poison. Try and get the Greaves up for yourself as well. As VP, they gather as if they want to smoke, but I think they're just 5-man down mid lane or something along those. Oh, Arcane Rune. DPLT's in 70. Not really the best timing.
I think Pangolier is going to give him the bottle. They're just going to wait for it if they saw it, but they don't have any vision on that side of the map.
They don't know it's up. Zai desperately scrambling to gather as much gold as he can to get that Blink Dagger. Solo, he did buy back for this. Looks like with the track and the Blood Right, Pajkatt is speed enough to chase forward, but 3-3 takes it out. And OpTic, at the very least, they're holding on. 20k, 19k net worth lead for VP.Pro, though, as the top 3 heroes, 5k ahead of their counterparts at the very least. And this pos 3 Shadow Demon just hasn't really worked out. Ramses gets the rupture on him. He's holding the gem. Shadow Dance is there. Pajkatt thinking about the Blood Right, but Ramses BKBs and walks back to the eastern side. The silence arrives. Ramzes does die.
That's the
No
gem.
one arrives. The gem down. Roger picks it up, though. Pajkatt trying to get away. He's got nothing left in the tank, but 3-3 disruption will come in to try and keep them all alive. The trouble is CCnC has to deal with the Pasha and No One heroes as the rest of OpTic try to retreat, but the Yules is there. Roger and Pasha find the Bloodseeker and a 3-for-1. I think Ramzes will be okay with exchanging his life for 4 heroes here, potentially, as Zai has arrived, but not getting too much done.
This is not the trade that they want to take. Yes, they killed the Slark who got the last hit. Pajkatt, that's the best one who can get it. 700 gold in his pockets, so he's gonna have Heaven's Halberd pretty soon. He needs to itemize differently because he's the one playing from behind and he needs to buy these cheap items that can keep him alive. The miss chance, so he can use the Heaven's Halberd on Slark, which can't be purged.
Is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire are scattered.
I think that says it all. I don't know what it means, but
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
it's definitely looking good for VP.
So
Full
Guardian
creeps
Greens.
now arrives for Pango.
Yes. And the Roche spawn. So that's the second Roche cheese and Aegis. Slark should be the one picking it up. Now that Prophet even picked up the Eon disc. Can be purged with Shadow Demon ulti.
Pop the ulti and head into the pit. OpTic still trying to push out these waves as they've been meeting the tier 3s on this Radiant side. Zai swings up towards top. He's going to see Pasha here, but the rest of VP, they're in the vicinity. They know that Zai has just spent his Burrow Strike and Sandstorm, and that's him dead. The Blink Dagger delayed even further. 30 seconds on the sidelines, and in the back, look at this. Solo hunting for PPD. He sees him with that Observer Ward. No catch, though, for now.
And look at the timings again. All the lanes are shout out. Plus, catapults are spawning. So they're gonna...
Radiant's top shrine
They can even
has
split them
fallen.
out. If Bloodseeker is just gonna spam his second spell, they can just be on 2, maybe even 3 different sides.
Yeah, look at where Ramzes is going. Bounty runes need to be collected, and Ramzes will be the one to grab them down on that southern side of the map. There's a regen rune spotted there, and no one might want to go and take that to replenish his mana up to full. But like you were saying, it's this multi-pronged attack. Top lane shoved in, so OpTic feel the need to come and defend here. Mid lane will arrive at their tier 3. And it looks like, though, VP with the open racks down at bottom, they'll try and hit that exposed area of the Radiant base. Pasha with a cloak now as well. I mean, he's close to unkillable. Roger is never showing himself in fights, but even then, Hand of God, Solar, and Force Staff for Virtus.pro. They've got so much utility between all of these heroes. And DP and Slark seemingly unkillable as well, with Lincoln's now done for Ramzes. And the high ground push, the breach onto the racks, catapult. It's going to be casualty of war there to the poison and the slaves of SD and Lina. But like you were saying, how do they defend multiple sides? Top looks like it's going to be pushing out for the Radiant, but it's coming in for the Dire at mid and bottom lane. A Wild Wing up to the high ground. Go on, get in there, my son. Get that damage. He did his job.
He stole the Blood Rage. He can cast that on DP with the ulti. That's gonna be a ton of damage.
And Solo.
Or you can just cast it on Slark.
Or the Pango. Put it on Pango and you swashbuckle.
Let's see who has it. Blood Rage. Oh, he tried to cast it on DP.
And DP just jumped straight on forward. Tracked up. Oh, look at these auras. Greaves. Aquila, Solar Crest, Pack Leader's aura. Bloodright won't do too much there as Solo playing the front man. No one. Eon Disc does pop, but Solo kept alive with a Hand of God, and this DP cannot be touched. Pasha there with a swashbuckle in, the jump out, the LSA doesn't land as the BKB from No One. Keeps him up and running. He even jumps up to the north as they catch 3-3. The Lincoln's there is going to get popped, and down goes the Slark. 3-3 still alive as the Slark will have BKB as he respawns. And I don't know if OpTic can do anything about this. He pounces the Lina. The damage output from VP will start flowing forward now. Penitence there on the CCnC, and no way to escape from the damage of Ramzes. Cleared up with ease. One by one they fall. The buybacks will start to come out now for OpTic. But at this point, what does it do?
They can just easily fall back. They tried to go for a Slark who used BKB used the ulti and the Shadow Blade. They tried to get the return kill, but they have nothing to stop the Linken's wit. And GG's called.
And that will be it. Ramzes on this Slark. Absolutely unstoppable. Virtus Pro, 2 wins across their 2 best of ones here, and we come to the final best of one. OG versus OG. OpTic Gaming up against the Big Daddy No-Tail stack. And this best of one decides who goes along with VP forward and who sticks around where they are and paddles in the water.
Yeah, VP is just on a different level than these 2 teams. I mean, these games were pretty much over 10 minutes in. They just needed to take it safe, wait for DP ulti to come online. Every time it's online, they take an objective.
Do we start banning Chen against VP again? It feels like RodjER Chen is kind of the concrete, the stable basis that they build all these drafts around. But even no one's Death Prophet. Now the hero's 2 and 7. Going up the ranks thanks to no one, slowly but surely. But we'll take a short break, guys. OpTic up against OG. Best of one will be coming up in just a few minutes. See you in a bit.